basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back.
There's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place.
Alyssa Thomas spoke out about the insults she received from Caitlin Clark fans, while Caitlin Clark announced that she would be taking a hiatus from basketball until April.
Allow me to publicly thank the Indiana Fever for putting up such a great fight tonight and for battling back again and again and again all season long. Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever entered?
While Alyssa Thomas spoke out about the insults she received from Caitlin Clark fans, Caitlin Clark announced that she would be taking a sabbatical from basketball until April.
Of things that this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again. So
even though she contributed to her team's victory, Alyssa Thomas was not pleased with the way fans treated her during the game, particularly calling out Fever fans. She had nothing to say when Angel Reese tackled her earlier, but it's a different story when it comes to Caitlin.
I don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it.
Is Caitlin Clark's decision to take a break following her breakthrough WNBA season a turning point in her career? What does this mean for women's basketball going forward? Fans and analysts alike are left wondering how her absence will impact the Indiana Fever and the WNBA overall for the next 200-plus days. What does this suggest for the WNBA's future viewership and the general impact on women's sports? Caitlin's decision to put recuperation ahead of playing overseas or 3v3 basketball indicates a change in her approach to her career. Caitlin has taken a well-earned vacation, a decision. Caitlin Clark competed in 81 games over the course of 324 days and spent 2,850 minutes on the court this season, which surprised some but makes perfect sense considering her intense commitment.
Clark now has 761 points, breaking the record once held by Simone Augustus. However, there is a caveat. Augustus set the mark back in 2006 when the WNBA regular season was just 34 games. Clark broke the record in 39.
Let's start by discussing Caitlin's most recent game. It wasn't just any regular season game. It was a playoff game, a moment when everything was on the line and the pressure was at its highest. The odds were stacked against the Fever, but Caitlin showed up in typical fashion, delivering a performance that demonstrated why she has become such a talked-about player. She scored an incredible 25 points and dished out 9 assists, but for those who watched closely, it was evident that she could have had even more assists, wasn't only unlucky. Caitlin's talent to create plays was evident. She was setting up opportunities, placing her teammates in strategic locations, and simplifying the game for everyone around her. Sadly, the shots weren't falling.
How I would grade myself, I'm a tough grader. I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve, so that's what excites me the most. I feel like I can continue to get a lot better, and before we know it, I'm sure we'll all be back here.
The Connecticut Sun squad, a well-rounded team with playoff experience, faced a team that had struggled throughout the season, but Caitlin wasn't one to back down from a challenge. From the first tip, she attacked the basket, took her shots with confidence, and made sure that she gave her team the best chance to win.
We got a lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people gave a damn.
Although Caitlyn's final game ended in disappointment, her season as a whole was nothing short of extraordinary. This was the year when Caitlin Clark cemented her status as one of the WNBA's most captivating and gifted players thanks to her ability to score goals and create for others. Given the intense competition in the WNBA, every club in the league knew that Caitlin was the heart and soul of the Indiana Fever. It's crucial to recognize how outstanding Caitlin's season was. Even while opposition coaches made frequent changes to lessen Caitlin's influence and defenses were designed to slow her down, Caitlin consistently discovered ways to perform at an outstanding level every single night.
Well, that was a lot of fun watching Caitlin Clark's rookie season, which is now over. The Indiana Fever knocked out of the postseason by the Connecticut Sun in a 2-game sweep. And so we got to see the carryover from Iowa transition to the pro game, her ability to help develop a team's cohesion and chemistry. And we saw that work so well as the season went on. Clearly brought like a magnet phenomenal attention to the league, bringing new fans, a committed fan base, not just in her home arena, but bringing fans to away arenas and packing the houses and increasing different venues from smaller to larger because of their presence. It's been
one of Caitlin's most notable skills is probably her ability to score from deep range. She has an amazing ability to make three-pointers from well beyond the arc, and she does so with incredible efficiency. This forces defenders to play her tight, opening up driving lanes that she can exploit with her speed and ball handling skills. However, Caitlin is more than just a scorer. She is also one of the league's best playmakers, regularly dishing out assists and getting her teammates involved in the offense. Concentrate beyond the stats. What really made Caitlin stand out this season was her leadership. As a young player, Caitlin took on a significant role for the Fever. She became the player that her teammates looked up to. Her 9 assists in her final game were a perfect example of her unique ability to see the floor and make the right pass at the right time. As previously mentioned, she could have had even more if her teammates converted more of their opportunities. During critical times when her team needed her most, Caitlin was always there, whether it was making a crucial defensive play or making a huge shot in the final seconds. She became one of the most significant players in the WNBA this year thanks to her leadership and on-court skill.
It's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of it.
It's not surprising that Caitlin has chosen to take some time off after such a demanding and intense season. Many WNBA players choose to play overseas during the off-season in order to stay in shape and earn extra money, but for her, it was obvious that she needed a break. It's important to remember that the WNBA season can be extremely taxing, especially for players who take on as much responsibility as Caitlin does. Playing abroad may be alluring, but it also means maintaining the same rigorous schedule with little time for recuperation. For Caitlin, the season's physical and mental toll was sufficient to convince her that rest was the best course of action.
So will Caitlin Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
Okay.
In addition to not playing overseas, Caitlin made the mature decision to refrain from playing 3v3 basketball, which is becoming more and more popular. The fast-paced nature of 3v3 basketball requires players to be sharp both offensively and defensively, and while it might have been a fun way to stay in shape, Caitlin knew that her body needed more than just a break from full-court basketball. She needed a complete rest that would allow her to fully recover and return stronger next season in the league. But Caitlin knows that taking care of her body now will pay off later. By resting, she's giving herself the chance to recover both mentally and physically and make sure she's prepared to play at her best when the next WNBA season starts.
or fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a...
One of Caitlin Clark's constant complaints during the season was the referee's failure to call her when she drove to the basket, absorbed contact, or was bumped on the perimeter. Caitlin was frequently left without a call. As one of the league's best players, Caitlin expected to be treated with the same respect as her colleagues, so this was especially annoying.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said, damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So, but I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that. So I want to thank him for that.
This problem reappeared in her last game against the Connecticut Sun. Fans, coaches, and analysts have all noticed that Caitlin has repeatedly driven to the basket only to be met with hard fouls and no whistles from the referees. This pattern has persisted throughout the season, and it is particularly puzzling given that Caitlin is one of the league's rising stars. When it comes to officiating, players like LeBron James or A.A. Wilson are accustomed to receiving favorable calls, especially when they attack the basket with aggression. But for Caitlin, in addition to the difficulties, this disparity in officiating has generated concerns about consistency in the WNBA because the whistles appear to remain silent even in circumstances where the contact was evident. During Caitlin's last game, a spectator in the stands started heckling her. In addition to the challenges she encountered on the court, she also had to deal with a challenging scenario off the court. For the majority of the game, Caitlin ignored the fans' taunts and tried to get under her skin. However, as the taunts persisted, Caitlin finally had enough, and in a moment reminiscent of NBA star LeBron James, Caitlin pointed out the fan to the arena staff Caitlin, who is renowned for her poise and control, showed a rare moment of obvious irritation when she quickly escorted the person from the stadium. Even the finest players have their limits when under pressure, as seen by Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs. The WNBA postseason landscape has changed, and one player who may be relieved is Angel Reese, a fellow star and rival who has been closely associated with Caitlin throughout the season. The two players have had a competitive rivalry, and now that Caitlin is sidelined, Angel knows that one of her biggest challenges to a championship run has been eliminated. Even though Angel has never publicly expressed, it's obvious that Caitlin's departure alters the dynamics of the postseason. Without Caitlin, the Indiana Fever are no longer a threat, and Angel's route to a possible championship becomes somewhat clearer. Now, other players with AIA are the focus. Wilson emerged as the playoffs' final big star. The Indiana Fever and the playoff race are not the only things impacted by Caitlin Clark's elimination from the playoffs. The WNBA as a whole is also greatly impacted. Few athletes have ever experienced the enthusiasm and attention that Caitlin's breakout season brought to the league.
People are watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
With Caitlin on the sidelines, the WNBA is facing a major struggle in maintaining viewership and interest without one of its biggest attractions. Fans especially tuned in to watch Caitlin play, and her highlight genuine performances were must-see TV. It's no secret that the WNBA has been working hard to expand its fan base in recent years. The league has made great progress in marketing, broadcasting, and accessibility, but players like Caitlin are crucial to maintaining that momentum. Without her on the court, the WNBA loses one of its most exciting and marketable players, which could lead to a noticeable decline in viewership and attendance.
People don't understand, like, if they think it's personal, but when I get between the lines, if friends or anything, if my teammate right here went to play for another team, I'm going to be competitive, I'm going to talk trash to her just because I'm super competitive and that's what we do. But off the court, we're going to kick it and have fun, so I think that's a part of the game, and just trying to normalize, like, trash talking is okay, but not taking it personal off the court. And obviously that has become a thing and people are just trying to make it seem like it's something, but I love Caitlin, I love her game, and I admire everything that she's done.
Caitlin Clark's influence on the WNBA extends beyond her on-court exploits. She has become a cultural icon who has attracted new fans to the league and generated excitement that hasn't been seen in years. Now that she's out of the playoffs, there's a sense of loss not only for the Fever, but for the league as a whole. Her absence will be felt, and it's obvious that the WNBA will miss her presence. But if there's one thing we know about Caitlin Clark is that she'll return stronger than before, that she has the talent, drive, and work ethic to be among the best players in the world, and that this break will only give her more time to rest and refocus. When she returns next season, the WNBA will be electrified by her play once more, and fans will be excitedly anticipating her return. If you liked, please leave a like and subscribe. More videos are now available.